Hello, guys. Welcome back. I want to talk about sometimes you got to put your pride away, right? There's a reason why pride is a sin. Pride is going to hold you back from getting a lot of stuff, right? Sometimes when there's nothing out there, you got to put your pride away and do what it takes to survive, right? I know I got a lot of people out there. They get laid off, right? They get laid off. They're so used to be in that cushy job, right? The cushy job, those pencil pushing jobs, right? And then all of a sudden they get laid off, right? And they don't want to downgrade themselves, right? And get another job, knowing that this is the thing that prevents you from sleeping on the street, all right? Because their pride get in their way. They don't want to seem they're beneath anything. Sometimes you got to put your pride out the way, put your pride aside, and do what it takes, whatever it takes to make it back onto that level again. All right? This pride, right? You need to let go of that pride. Pride is only going to hold you back. It's not. It's people want to say it's not a good thing, right? It's not only that. Pride will get you in a lot of problems, a lot of serious issues. You have too much pride. You don't want. Sometimes you gotta walk away from all that mess, right? If somebody try to push you down, right? Try to push you down. Look, try to push you down. Try to berate you. Try to say all this stuff, right? Sometimes it's best to walk away from that situation. So you want to put yourself in another tough situation, like Marty McFly, right? For example, let me take this analogy. In Back to the Future, right? Marty McFly, when everybody call him a chicken, right? He get mad, pissed off, right? And he get into this trouble because his pride get in the way and don't get in the way and won't let him let go of that word that people call him a chicken, right? So he let pride get in his way, and what happened during the movie? He got into all these problems because of all his pride, right? He could avoid all that stuff so he won't get fired, right? Like part two when Nito called him a chicken, that he did all this illegal thing, right? He should just say, all right, man, it's your word. It's chicken. You say I'm chicken, I'm a chicken, but at least I'm not getting fired for what I'm doing, right? But I digress. That's what I want to say when you have too much pride on you, right? So it's like, where do you draw the line about pride? Sometimes you don't want to be weak, right? Be weak, but sometimes you don't want to get yourself in all this problem. You got to know where to draw the line of when to be prideful of what you're doing. Um, it's a thin line between pride, because it's either could get you into a upward advantage or a bottom lower advantage in things in life. So you need to be wise of what to be prideful, what not to be prideful. Right? It's really a slippery slope, because there's a point when you have too much pride on you that is really gonna hold you back from achieving what you want to achieve. It's really gonna hold you back from surviving. Right? When you just want to survive, right? You can't get that. You can't you can't expect to get that thing what you once had. All right. Sometimes you got to start from the bottom again and work your way back up, instead of things just handed to you and expect it to be the same. It's not going to be the same. All right. And people don't understand that pride is really a sin. You're not supposed to have it. Right? It's really a sin, because God told you that you're supposed to worship God and not yourself. That's what pride is. Pride is basically self worshiping. If you really look into it, you worship yourself more than you have to, and then when you worshiping yourself more than you have to, it's very self destructing. All right, is not putting yourself into a better position in life. Right? It's very selfish. Basically, that's what it is. That's pride. That's what it is, and that's what these people out there who have the pride flag, right? Who's with this rainbow community, don't understand. It's really a sin. That's why they have their lack of morals, right? Pride doesn't make you blinded to see what's what's in front of you, right? It's basically an emotion, attachment that's not willing to let go. You're prideful. Too much pride will get you. And this is what I mean when you gotta put your pride away sometime. Because sometimes your pride is a deciding factor whether you're gonna build yourself up or destroy yourself. Right? Like Moby Dick, right? Captain Ahab, right? He's very prideful, right? He tried to get the things that he wanted in life, and then when he finally get it, that's the thing that turned out to be killing him, right? That whale is the thing that he wanted the most, and it turns out that it's the thing that he's willing to sacrifice his life for. You know, be proud of your family. Be proud of your 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 sibling, but don't be proud of yourself. Right? That's selfish. That you have self pride. Right? You can be proud of your family, your country. Right? But when you're proud of yourself, is self destructions. It's self destruction in a way that people can't identify with, that people don't know how to understand it, and it's really hard to distinguish that. I understand that, but sometimes you gotta put your pride away. I keep repeating the same thing over and over, and I keep catching myself saying the same thing over and over. So if I'm starving, if it is up to survival, I gotta put my pride aside. Alright? If I can't find any job out there, alright, and it has to do with me surviving, I would do that job. I would clean toilets. I would be a janitor, right? I'll be a janitor, do all these work, right? To survive. Look at all these migrants out here. You think they do anything to survive? They put their pride aside. This is why immigrants, they're more successful because they're willing to put their pride aside to get to their ultimate goal. Right? With Americans, we're very prideful. We're very prideful. We're not doing the job that these immigrants are not willing to do. These immigrants are willing to do. These dirty jobs, right? Sometimes these dirty jobs pay really well, and sometimes people are very prideful. They don't want to do this job. They think that coding job will always be there. Right? They think they're better than everybody else. That's what prideful is. Being prideful is basically just trying to say that you're better than someone else. Right? You're better than everybody else, but not really, because nobody's better than nobody. There's gonna be somebody out there who's better than you. This is why, you got to put that pride aside, right? So you could better yourself off later. You got to build your career off from somewhere, right? There's a lot of example where immigrants migrate here, do the worst job, then they build themselves into a higher position, and then they can afford these houses. There are illegal immigrants that save enough money to buy houses for their family. And why can't American people do that? Because of pride taking over. They're not willing to do these dirty jobs. Right? They're willing to do this dirty job to get paid. Right? This is why I say sometimes you gotta put your pride away. Right? Sometimes you gotta get down and dirty to do this job, so you won't be hungry, so you won't be in a disadvantage, so you won't be vulnerable. All right? This is why all these immigrants are doing better than Americans. Did you not see that? They're willing to do all these late night shifts, right? They don't care. They're getting money. They're getting paid. Our salary over here are worth more than what they're getting paid back and where they came from. All right? Because of that, they put a pride aside. They don't care what it is as long as they're getting paid. Right? Because of that, they were able to afford a car, afford a house, afford to buy all these nice stuff for the children's, right? Afford to educate the children, afford to do all these stuff that Americans are willing to do. Because we think that because we came from a background of coding or engineering, that when that job dries up, we deserve that same job or work in the upper hand. That goes with relationship too. Women who have a higher education, they're very prideful, thinking that they're better than better than the men beneath them. That's why a lot of them are single, not realizing there's a lot of men out there, good men, working men out there. He probably treat them better than most men out there. If they would have just put their pride aside, they'll find a happy marriage. They don't care what he's making, right? And that's why a lot of these women are in the situation they're in right now. Their pride, their hubris, right? You can't be that much. You can't be that hubris. Your pride is getting in the way of you succeeding. Right? Your pride, right? These women pride are getting in the way of them finding a good man. They're not willing to put their pride aside to find a good man. This is what I'm talking about. Sometimes you have to put the pride aside. Be the better man. Be the better person. But no, they're not willing to do that. They're not willing to compromise. Right? This is why I told in my previous video that you do not want to date a highly educated woman because their pride is up there, bro. Their pride is so high, their demand is so high that it's unrealistic out there. So there's all these educated women out there, and not enough men to go around for them. And they think that they all deserve that 1% of men, not realizing that all of them are competing for the same men. So, and when they compete for the same men, there's not enough men to go around. So bring yourself down to earth, right? Put your pride aside so you can be more susceptible to all these fine gentlemen out there who's willing to be with you. Sure, might not have the title. He might not have the educations, right? But at least you'll know he'll treat you well if you were able to put your pride aside, right? But, I digress, The point is, sometimes it's a slippery slope what's to be prideful and what's not to be prideful of. Sometimes you have to make a decision when it comes to survival and just put your pride aside and look out for. Sometimes having too much pride will go against your best interest. But on that note, guys, if I'm missing something out, please comment, like, share, subscribe. We can all learn from each other, and I'll check you guys back in the next video. Peace.